Hello, Larry Casillo with Casillo Insurance, coming to you with an insurance update. October 24th, 2017. Going to give you some information about a lot of the questions that we're receiving. Our staff is receiving a bunch of different questions. I'm getting emails, phone calls, and Facebook messages. So we're going to address some of the issues that are coming up, hopefully give you guys some information to hopefully allow you to relax a little bit more. All right. So first off, several of you received conditional non-renewal notices stating that your policy will not be renewed and you'll have to submit a new application in order to get coverage. Don't panic. They're just notifying you by law that if they're going to non-renew somebody, you give an advance notice. They would be sending them out usually 60 to 90 days in advance, depending on the state's requirements. You may have received one without a date on it, just letting you know that it will be coming. Don't worry about it, it's okay. You still have insurance, it's still in force. The only issue is that it probably caused more havoc than settling you guys down. In order to fix that, let me explain. From what we've heard, they will not insure any inflatable. If you were with US Fire, they have pulled out from insuring the inflatables. We have heard that you cannot add any equipment on or increase any type of limits, which could cause a challenge. But we can help you with that, just letting you know that your insurance is still in force unless you receive a notice of cancellation with a date on it. So you should be okay. Gross sales. There's questions on gross sales. The insurance programs rate most commercial policies based on gross sales. Your gross sales is something that's been a topic of discussion. Some applications that we've received do not have the correct gross sales. They put a number that is considerably lower. We've received some that have 30,000 gross sales on the application, and we get a tax return back and it's 170,000. One with 50,000 and it came back that it was 300,000. We have one that came in at 10,000 and when the tax return came in, it actually was about 45,000. So the misrepresenting of your actual gross sales has caused the insurance industry to say, hey, wait a minute. We've given these people a non-audited policy, which means at the end of the policy period, you do not have to pay any extra premium if your sales went up. But it's been taken advantage of so much that the insurance industry is saying, wait a minute, maybe we need to go ahead and ask for proof of gross sales in the past 12 months and get an idea what it's going to be in the next 12. So we're not getting the correct, so we are getting the correct premium for the risk. So we discussed it with them, tried to get a definition of what gross sales would be so that you would understand it real clearly. So gross sales is everything that you run through your business, every dollar that comes through the business, whether it is a rental, whether it is a purchase, whether it's supplies for the candy corn, what is it? The candy machine, I just went blank, the pink stuff, cotton candy, there it is. So the supplies for the cotton candy, the sugar, the snow cone stuff, doesn't matter what it is, those are all gross sales, and that's what shows up on your tax return at the end of the year. That's the number that they use. You can subtract any discounts. So if you have it for $100 and you discounted it with a $50 Groupon coupon or something, you take away your discounts with our carrier. With some carriers you can't. You can discount the sales tax, remove the sales tax completely, and the rest is going to be what your true gross sales number that they're going to use to base your rate on your insurance. Now, if you subcontract any type of unit or service and you have certificates of insurance naming your company as additional insured, now we have something to bargain with. We can give you a discount with some carriers. Some carriers don't allow it because they're still going to have a defense cost. We'll get into that in a few seconds. If you do not have proof that you're named as additional insured on those devices, you're not going to be able to discount those numbers because you're basically going to be on the hook 100%. So if you have the additional insured request, we can give a discounted rate with some of the carriers. Some of the carriers, once again, they won't accept that. Why are the subcontract amounts included? It's not fair. The insurance company still has a duty to defend you in case of a claim for negligence. Whether that other person has insurance or not, our carrier that represents you still has to have a defense for you. They still have to provide investigation. They still have to provide an attorney. So because of that, they include the subcontracted costs. If their insurance company doesn't provide defense for you for whatever reason, maybe they say that you didn't have that piece of equipment covered under that policy. Maybe the claim is for more than the $1 million limits that subcontractor has. Whatever, your policy is going to defend you. Two different types of policies. There's another carrier out there, Lloyd's of London, that have started writing inflatables last year. They were doing just mechanical bulls. They're doing the inflatables now. They're on a claims-made policy type. There's two different types, an occurrence and claims-made. The claims-made policy means that you have to report that claim during the policy period. And some claims-made policies give you a reporting time frame, 30 days or 60 days after the incident. If they don't get that report that somebody was injured in that time frame, they don't have to pay the claim. So it's very important you read that policy and understand it, because it's a huge difference from an occurrence-based policy, which is what we sell. We offer an occurrence-based policy. If it happened during the policy period and you didn't know about it till the next year when the attorney sends you a letter saying somebody was hurt on one of your devices, our policy will still defend you. A claims made will not. So you have to notify them during the policy period. With an occurrence base, it does not. Now they'll give you a better rate because they're only on it a short period of time. But with what we've seen in the amusement industry, sometimes you don't know about an injury until a year or almost 2 years when the statute of limitations comes up. So that's why it's important to have an occurrence-based policy if you're in the amusement industry. Inventory is an issue. For some reason, some people do not put their entire inventory on the application. This causes a lot of challenges for you, mainly because if it's not listed, they probably won't have to pay for the claim. You're going to put yourself in that predicament where you're going to have to fight with the insurance carrier because you misrepresented what your inventory is or was. You don't want to ever get in that position. You pay too much money for insurance. You buy insurance in case you have a claim. So don't do something in the gray area that would cause you to be in a position where the carrier doesn't pay that claim. That's just the opposite of smart. Don't do that. List everything. You must list your entire inventory in order to make sure you have coverage for it. Some items that you omit might not qualify. For instance, if you have a piece of equipment that the insurance carrier doesn't want to cover and you omit it on purpose because you know they don't want to cover that, then the carrier can come back and say, hey, you didn't give us the full picture when you applied. So don't do that. Make sure that you report everything. So that's correct gross sales, correct inventory. Payments. There's been an issue with people making their payments late every month. So they get a notice saying that there's a late payment notice, and they get a notice of cancellation. Then they pay the day before it's going to cancel. Then they do a reinstatement notice. Well, insurance carriers come back to us and said, we're tired of doing that. If they can't make the payments, that's an issue, but they're not going to keep reinstating. So you get one try. It happens once, that's fine. Second time, they're just going to cancel it. They won't reinstate it. So your payment's going to go to a finance company, and the finance company will request reinstatement, but now the carrier's not going to reinstate it. So make sure that you're making your payments on time. Find out exactly what your due date is. Do the ACH where they do the bank draft right out of your account. Easiest way to do it. All right, next, we've made some changes on our process. If you're interested in getting your renewal process going, let's say that you renew January, February, March, April, May. Those are the busiest months in the rental industry. You usually don't have time to do the paperwork. So what we've done is we set up a control center for you to be able to log into our website, register your name if you're not already in the database, and you can go ahead and start completing your application process. You can put in all the information, you can start doing your inventory, you can go back and edit it at any time, and once you become a customer, or if you are a customer, you can go on that control center right now. You can request certificates of insurance, you can report an incident, and of course none of our customers have incidents, but it's there in case somebody does have. That's up and running right now. We urge you, if you have a large inventory, go ahead and start now. You can always log in and edit it, you can add to it, you can delete, but go in now and start that inventory in, especially if you have more than 10 or 20 pieces. That way the painful part's done while it slows down in your slow season. All right, once again, you go on to CasilloInsurance.com, our website, www.casilloinsurance.com, COSSIO Insurance, INSURANCE.com. And top right hand corner, you'll see that red button where it says log in or register. That's where you go to start. It's pretty easy. All right, so that's what I have to bring everything up. Hopefully that'll make your application process, if you're going to be looking for insurance, a lot smoother. It will allow you to have access 24/7. So if you wake up in the middle of the night and say, oh, I forgot to put a slide on there, you can do that. Any questions, call our office. Our number is 864-688-0121, 864-688-0121, CasilloInsurance.com. We're here to help, and we can do the general liability, your inland marine, your workers' comp, your commercial auto. We can do it all for you. Just give us a call. Thanks a lot.